love to hug things. It might sound funny, but right now I'm dreaming about hugging the earth. Okay, so my eyes are open. It's more like a daydream than a dream. Mom, will you show me how to make this drawing? I love it so much I can't stop hugging it.
Sure thing, Duke. Let's begin by drawing very lightly. This drawing consists of two circles that are stacked on top of each other, almost like the figure eight. Next, I'm going to add the hugger. His head is located right about here and is a perfect circle along the edge. Now, very lightly, I've added a smaller circle where his hand is going to be located, and also two curved lines that attach to the head that will become his arm. So now that I'm satisfied with these lines, I'm going to very carefully darken in those circles, and I'm going to add a few crease lines to make it appear that hugger is kind of squeezing the earth so it looks like it's rippling and a little soft. I'm going to add the thumb pointing up and his four fingers. I'm going to connect his shoulder so he has a body, and then the four fingers from his other hand are visible, squeezing on the other side of the earth. A few more lines at the bottom circle, and now we're going to add the eye to our hugger. You can only see one eye because he's smushed right into the earth. And there's his nose, and his ear is in the center of the circle. Give him a little smile because he's super happy to be squishing the earth. And give him some crazy hair. A little wavy line, poofy hair. Now I'm just going to smooth out his arm, make it look like it's attached to his hand there. And I'm satisfied with the shape of the finger, so I can darken in those lines a little bit. So here I am trying to remember geography. This is a cartoon, so it does not have to be exact, but I'm going to put in a little bit of Europe, Asia, here's North America, and remember that it's being warped and stretched in this silly little cartoon. All right, let's figure out what's happening in the southern hemisphere. We know there's South America, and maybe it'll wrap around under this cartoon character's hand. And I'm trying to figure out where Africa would be located.
Mom, make sure you use a clean eraser, otherwise you're going to ruin your paper just like that.
Thank you for the helpful tip, Duke. Now I am going to use my pencil to shade in the continents that I've drawn in. I'm going to make the continents just a dark shade of gray. I'm going to start at the top so that my hand doesn't drag through the pencil shading, because that can get very messy. Or I could put a piece of paper underneath my hand while I work, a clean sheet of paper, but I didn't want to do that so you guys could see my drawing. not only am I shading the continents a dark gray, but I am also going to shade in those curved lines that imply a crease in the earth. And so I'm going to shade those a nice dark gray. Underneath this little hugging person's head, there's some shadow because his head is being pushed into the earth, kind of like a pillow. So to create that illusion, we're going to add a little bit of shading right underneath where his head is. Right above the hand, to create the illusion that the hand is pulling the globe inward, I'm going to add a little bit of shading right above the hand and blend it so it's dark to light in a smooth, gradual change. Now I'm going to do the same thing for the bottom sphere. So I'm going to shade that entire bottom circle as if it were a sphere. The edges are going to be darker, so I'm going to take my pencil and shade around the fingers, and I'm going to shade those indentations darkest. So I'm continuing to make the continents a dark value using my pencil, and I'm also making the shaded areas of the globe a dark value. The edges of the circles, if we want them to look rounded, we're going to shade the edges the darkest with the darkest value, and then I'm going to get lighter with my pencil, and you can even use your fingertip to do a little bit of blending to kind of smooth out the lines so they don't look as scribbly. You don't have to use your finger though. You can just use your pencil and go very, very lightly to create small little areas of light gray. Now for some fun cartoon effects, like the earth is getting a big squeeze, and maybe there's a little bit of squeezing in action. So there are 3 lines on the right, little droplets of water being squeezed out of the earth. Now in order to make the earth look like it's sitting on top of maybe a tabletop, it has a big oval shadow. This gives the effect that it's casting a shadow on a surface below and it's not just floating in outer space. This would be a cast shadow, and that would be the darkest value, the darkest black your pencil can get by pressing pretty hard. At this point in the drawing, I'm just cleaning up any stray lines using my eraser.
Remember to have a clean eraser.
Oh yeah, thanks for that, Duke. Alright, I'm just double checking, making sure that I have all the lines that I want on my drawing, touching up, cleaning it up. Am I done?
Yeah, it looks done to me, Mom. Want to know where my mom found this idea? In this really cool drawing book. This drawing has inspired me to go hug my favorite octopus. Good night. Oh, I love you, Octi. Yum, yum.